What's up, subscribers? Sunjutsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and talk about my list for the top 5 heroes that I would like to see in Star Wars Battlefront. Now, for this list, I'm mainly sticking to the Star Wars Battlefront that we have right now, not future Star Wars, and I'm only gonna make it so because they have already stated for the most part that they aren't making a Clone Wars, they are making Force Awakens included in this first Star Wars Battlefront, but in Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 3, if they come later on, more than likely they're going to have those eras in there. So for this, I'm only going for the first 3 movies era, so the characters are only going to be from those first 3 movies, and it's going to be a little bit mixed because some of these characters, it wouldn't make, either they weren't that big important to the combat in any of the movies or things like that, so I just feel like it'd be cool to see on the screen, to be able to play as them, and also there isn't as like that many characters to really pull from, so you're kind of stuck with mainly these that haven't been announced yet. Now they have announced for Star Wars Battlefront that there are 3 more heroes that will be given out as DLC, so more than likely I think 3 of these will probably be those heroes because these are the only ones I can think of, unless they thought of somebody else that I haven't thought of yet. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into my number 5. Number 5, I go with Greedo. Now, Greedo, we only have one really scene of him with Han Solo, and he basically has been hunting Han Solo for a while, and even Han Solo's not really threatened by him, but in the scene he's talking about how he's gonna get a big bounty on him and this and that, so we can go off that he is a bounty hunter. Now, his race is already a skin in the game. It would be very, very easy for them to just make him a character and just give him a couple extra abilities, and for him, I see him being as more of a Han Solo, Boba Fett type character, basically running, gunning, shooting, this and that. I don't know if you want to go ahead and add anything where you think he shoots and then he doesn't actually shoot. You can't really tell whether he's shooting or not. I don't know, something to like the scene where he's at, where you don't really know why who's shooting, who shot first, Han Solo or Greedo. But I think it makes sense for them to pull him. Now, he did die in the very beginning of the A New Hope, so, or the original Star Wars. He did die right in the beginning, so it doesn't really make sense for him to be at the Battle of Hoth or in other battles like that, like the Death Star or stuff like that. So it doesn't make any sense, but I still think it'd be kind of cool just to be able to pull from him and have him there, and so that's why he gets the number 5 spot. Number 4, I give it to Grand Moff Tarkin. Now, he is not a combat action hero at all in the movies, and he dies right in the beginning of the first, or at the end of the first movie. He dies, so he doesn't have too many parts to play as, just like Greedo, but he's got more lines and more screen time in the first movie than Greedo did. But the character that kind of I was thinking about with him, I was thinking that it'd be pretty cool to have him in there running around, and I think that he would be great as a support character, just like Palpatine or Darth Sidious or Princess Leia, like a support character. So some of these things I think I could see with him is every couple of seconds he gets a new sort of follower, like if somebody dies and they come back and they're one of his supporters, they can, a new trooper, like not like the shock troopers like Palpatine already has, but like at least, color them something different. I don't know, make them a little bit more unique than that. That could be one of his abilities. Another one could be he can leave items, he can shoot, he could be a pretty decent shot. I mean, if he shoots you like once or twice, you're dead or something like that. And this is the big one, I feel like he should be able to do orbital strikes wherever he can call them in, wherever he's at. I mean obviously you don't want this game breaking, but I think it'd be pretty cool to have like an orbital strike that doesn't last as long, but it has a wider range, and it takes a while for it to after you use one, it takes a while for it to load up. And I think he would be a pretty cool character for that, because I don't know, it'd just be pretty cool just to see orbital strikes coming down and stuff like that. So I think that would make people want to play him just because of that abilities, and that's the reason that I put him at number 4. Number 3, Obi-Wan, and I only put him in here at number 3 or so high on the list because I really want to see him fight Darth Vader in the game, because I think that'd be really, really cool. So Obi-Wan himself, he was really only in the sort of the beginning of the New Hope, but kind of also in there, before he died and became the Force or whatever. So a couple things with that. One, when he dies, I think it'd be cool if he dies that he just goes invisible or whatever. He turns into the Force and his clothes fall down on the ground. Like, how all of them have their own unique animations for dying. I feel like Greedo should be like him flying like really like exaggerated backwards, like he did in the little scene where he died with Han Solo, or when Han Solo killed him. Grand Moff should like do the same thing. Like he died in an explosion when the Death Star exploded, so he should like look like he was about to explode or something like that, or he could just give up really graciously. And I think that Obi-Wan his clothes should just collapse and he should vanish, and then his clothes vanish obviously, but when he dies. But I think that for him, some force powers that would be pretty cool would be like Jedi mind trick. He could Jedi mind trick a couple of stormtroopers, and have it be like a wide enough range to where it could be useful, where like the Jedi mind trick just basically makes your guy stop moving and stop, and kind of like look around like he's like dazed and confused and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. And then with everything else, I mean, he should have force push also, just like Luke, but not as strong as Luke's. And then he should be able to have the same amount of like, just like the same kind of animations, or not animation, but the speed like Darth Vader has with his lightsaber. I feel like Obi-Wan should have very similar amounts of speed to his lightsaber. He should be like the light side's Darth Vader, basically, when it comes to his combat style and the way he is. And he does dies in the beginning or sort of at the beginning and middle of the New Hope. So I mean, these are characters that I'm pulling from, I mean, just the last couple of them from the first movie. So I give him the number 3 spot. Apparently, what people have said is that when you're playing as the Millennium Falcon in aerial fights, when the Falcon does his turn, Millennium Falcon does its turn, you can see Chewbacca in the gunner part of the ship. You can see him slightly, so that's the most likely hero that I could see being in the game, because of the fact that we already have Han. I mean, Chewbacca is the next one that I think that would be the most likely, and if he's already the Millennium Falcon, then I think he's going to be the next guy who's going to be in the game. For him, I would like him to be one of those brute characters, like a tank. So let him take a lot of hits, a lot of blasts, be able to take a lot of blasts, have a move where he goes and grabs stormtroopers and holds on to their arms, and like animation where either he flings them around with one arm, or it looks like he's about to break their arms, and he pulls on their arms, and it looks like he breaks them and he throws them on the ground. Like, have that be an insta kill, or when he rushes up and just barrel rolls into guys. And then have his weapon be his bowcaster, but have it be the bowcaster. I mean, we got the bowcaster in the game as a weapon that we can have, but have this bowcaster be extremely powerful, very similar to the bowcaster in The Force Awakens, where you're just shooting bolts and stormtroopers are flying back. So make it be like an insta kill bowcaster, like almost like a shotgun type of thing, where people just go flying by and explosions happen whenever you shoot it with it. But yeah, I definitely think Chewbacca is the more probable one that's going to be one of the 3 that's going to be revealed, and that's why he gets number 2 on this list. The number one character that I want to see in this game, which I don't know if we're going to see him, but apparently people have found skins in the game, in the code of the game, of him, so maybe he's a possibility, is Yoda. Now, Yoda has no combat in the old original Star Wars movies. He's got no combat in there. He's just a teacher. He teaches Luke how to use the Force, but he is very powerful with it, because he lifts the X-wing fighter out of the muck with only the Force with one hand. And so what I would like to see with this character, this is the reason I want to see him, I want to see a character that's very quick, very fast. He's going to be hard to shoot at and hard to hit because he's so small. He's really fast, but I also want him to have this ability where it's like a force shield, where it's like a bubble that goes around him, like temporarily, and like not like as apparent as the bubble shields that we get, but kind of like a force bubble, where like if he activates it, you don't see it, but when you shoot at it, you can see like the bolts kind of shooting off of it or whatever. Make him that powerful. I want to see him have very ferocious attacks, very fast attacks, things like that. I want to be able to see him take down like squads of stormtroopers really quickly. And here's the main thing: I want him to have the Force where he could destroy, or he can like basically break or do tons of damage to machines, like say the turret guns, or the walkers, not the walkers, the two-legged ones. I can't think of the name right now, but it's on the tip of the tongue. But you know what I'm saying, like just be able to make damage, a lot of damage to that. Now, if you don't want that, or that's not the best way to do that, because I want to kind of mimic the ability of him lifting the TIE fighter out of the water. So what we could do is make him lift up garbage or like just junk. Like it's in the Disney Infinity game that Anakin has. It's one of his main ability, like one of his abilities. Yeah, I played Disney Infinity with my son, but he lifts up like it looks like trash or like metal and stuff like that, and he throws it. That'd be pretty cool if he could do that. If Yoda could just lift up trash and garbage or machine parts and just throw them at you, and then if it hits you dead center, it's an insta kill, like something like that. Either that or being able to do like a lot of damage to machines. And you can see him indenting the machine while he's using the force on it or whatever. That would be pretty cool, I think. And so those are the things that I would like to see with Yoda, and these are the characters that I want to see in the new DLCs or whatever. It's gonna be 3 of these characters. These are the only ones that I can think of, unless there's another one that I haven't thought of. These are the only ones I can think of that could be released as DLC. Now, as far as future games, I don't know. It could be many more characters than that. But anyway, guys, that's basically it. Depending on how this video goes, I'll do another video talking about what characters I would like to see in a Star Wars Battlefront future game with The Force Awakens, and then I might do another one with the Clone Wars to give you kind of my roundup, and then maybe I'll do another roundup on all of them combined, like the best characters you can pull from Heroes, because honestly Heroes is one of my favorite parts of Battlefront. That's the reason I keep going back, because it's just so amazing and awesome to be able to play them or to fight them and kill them and stuff like that, and be killed by them. So awesome. Anyway, guys, let's see if we can get over 50 likes on this video for Star Wars Battlefront or for any of these characters. Let's give it over 50 likes. And the question of the day: what character do you guys most want to see? Any character. It doesn't have to be from the first 3 movies. It can be from the first 3 movies, the prequels, or the Force Awakens, or the Clone Wars, or the extended universe, because it did say they were talking. They had a survey where they were asking people, would you like to see some of these characters intercrossing, or would you like to see like Anakin fight with Darth Vader, like be able to be in the battles with him or whatever, like things like that. I honestly think that we should at least have right now it's 1 hero at a time on the battlefield. I feel like there should be at least 2 from each side on the battlefield, like, and then that way it's more dynamic, or you know, you can kind of work as a team, more tag team type of thing. But anyway, yeah, just the question of the day: what character do you want to see the most out of the Star Wars mythos as a hero in these games? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see here and you like to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to see more and become a subscriber today. It's going to be Sunjutsu signing off. You're kind of stuck with mainly these that haven't been announced yet. Now, they have announced for Star Wars Battlefront that there are 3 more heroes that will be given out as DLC. So more than likely, I think 3 of these will probably be those heroes, because these are the only ones I can think of, unless they thought of somebody else that I haven't thought of yet. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into my number 5. What's up, subscribers? Sunjutsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and talk about my list for the top 5 heroes that I would like to see in Star Wars Battlefront. Now, for this list, I'm mainly sticking to the Star Wars Battlefront that we have right now era. So the characters are only going to be from those first 3 movies, and it's going to be a little bit mixed, because some of these characters, it wouldn't make either they weren't that big important to the combat in any of the movies or things like that. So I just feel like it'd be cool to see on the screen, to be able to play as them, and also there isn't that many characters to really pull from. So number 5, I go with Greedo. Now, Greedo, we only have one really scene of him with Han Solo, and he basically has been hunting Han Solo for a while, and even Han Solo's not really threatened by him, but in the scene he's talking about how he's gonna get a big bounty on him and this and that, so we can go off that he is not future Star Wars. And I'm only gonna make it so because they have already stated for the most part that they aren't making a Clone Wars, they are making Force Awakens included in this first Star Wars Battlefront, but in Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 3, if they come later on, more than likely they're going to have those eras in there. So for this, I'm only going for the first 3 movies